And it reads, and Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. And he sought to see Jesus, who he was, and could not because of the press, because he was little of stature. He goes on to say in verse 4, and he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for Jesus was to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and he saw Zacchaeus, and he said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste, come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And Zacchaeus, having heard the voice of the Lord, he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. Part 2 this morning is empowered by sight. You may be seated. Empowered by sight. Now there are 3 words, because we're just going to pick up where we left off on last week. There are 3 words we want to deal with this morning. They are clarity, isolation, and archophobia. They are clarity, isolation, and archophobia. Now, when we say clarity, I want you to understand we're talking about or referencing the fact that Zacchaeus climbed the tree for clarity because the Bible says the press was there, and him being of little stature would not afford him the abilities to see Jesus. And so then he climbed the sycamore tree for clarity, but he left with a calling. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Because the Bible says that Jesus said, Zacchaeus, come. That was a summons to Zacchaeus. That was a calling. That was an invitation to him. And so then, although he climbed for transparency, he left transformed. He climbed the tree for evidence, but he left evolved. He climbed the tree because of the press, but he left with a purpose. He climbed the sycamore tree to gain more information, but he left with an instruction. And so then we are saying that we may be in one place mentally or spiritually or even emotionally, but that does not mean that's where God is. Come on, say that. I want you to hear that. Just because you're in a certain place spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or even physically, it does not mean that God is in the same place. This is why some of us are experiencing frustration, because we are constantly telling God about our conditions and God is talking about your calling. And so then we want God to deal with our conditions so that then we can answer the calling. But God's methodology is, if you answer the calling, it will resolve your conditions. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? This is why God does not wait for you to be perfect or your conditions to be perfect to call you. Because the calling does not depend upon your conditions. No, it does not. It does not. And so then you say, well, how do you know God is not in the same place that I'm in? Being that the place that I'm in is a broken place. Being that the place that I'm in is a place of confusion. Being that the place that I'm in is a place where there's uncertainty and unfamiliarity. It is because when we look in the Gospel of John, we are reminded when Jesus told Philip, he said, Philip, I saw you before I called you. Yes, sir. Because he sent Nathanael to call Philip. Yes. But when Philip showed up, he said, Philip, I already saw you before Nathanael called you. Yes. Yes. So what are you saying, man of God? That if Jesus saw Nathanael eagle up under the fig tree, then surely he would have seen Zacchaeus up in the fig. Y'all not hear what I'm saying. And so then don't ever think that Jesus doesn't know where you are. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Just because you're in one place does not mean that he's in the same place. This is why even when the disciples were on the ship and the ship was being tossed to and fro, and Jesus was in the base of the ship asleep, and they said, Jesus, thou carest not. It wasn't that he didn't care. It's because he had already sent a word that said we're going over to the other side. And whatever I said, it doesn't matter the conditions that interject themselves into the situation. They don't have jurisdiction to stop what I said. And so then we see that when Zacchaeus climbed the tree for clarity, he got more than what he asked for. Can I talk to you just for a second? Some of you came here for one reason, but you get more than what you asked for. I wish I had somebody in the house that would better than this. They say, I came for one reason, but since I've been here, I ain't been here a long time, but I've gotten more than what I came for. I came because I was seeking shelter, but I found out I received power. I wish I had somebody in the house that would look back that when you first got here, you weren't shouting when you first got here. That you was broken, that you were bent over, but look at you now because you came here for healing, but instead you got an anointing. Zacchaeus came to see, but Jesus came to talk. Jesus came to talk because although Zacchaeus was trying to see, Jesus knew that when he climbed a tree to see, that was his opportunity to give him not clarity in sight, but clarity of calling. Watch this. Because the clarity of calling is not just what you see, but who you encounter and what you hear. Oh my God. I need to say it to somebody one more time. Because too often we're concerned merely about the clarity of the fact that I've been called. Am I called? Am I sure of my calling? But your calling is not just about what you see, but it's also inclusive of who you encounter and what you hear. Tell your neighbor, I need to hear something. I need to hear something. And you say, why is that essential? Because once I get a revelation, if I don't have an explanation that comes with the revelation, I'm likely to revert back to a previous or premature application. To help you out right here. See, when I get a revelation, first and foremost, that revelation has to lie within the parameters, first and foremost, of my understanding. Because otherwise, I won't believe it. So it has to fall within the jurisdictions of what I understand. But then there's an addition to that, to the point where the revelation now encompasses something that's mind-boggling, but in my attempts, Miss Patricia, to understand it, I can only revert back to a previous or a premature application. And so then what is essential to the revelation is that you get some explanation as to what what's been revealed. Because God does not desire in revealing something that's already been revealed. I'm going to say that again. If he's already revealed it, Caleb, he's not revealing it so that you would attach a previous understanding to it. What he's done has revealed it to you so that you will search for a different explanation. Because make no mistake, I'm operating out of my current revelation.
That's it. Yes, sir.
So what do you mean, man of God?
Yes, sir.
Before you started tithing, it is because it was revealed to you the necessity of tithing. But once you got a revelation of tithing, through the explanation that was given, it then caused you to do something different than what you were doing. This is why sometimes it bothers me with church folk when they start shouting, God reveal. But you're not doing nothing different. Because the revelation was never given for merely understanding. The revelation was given so that you stop doing one thing and start doing something that currently you weren't doing. But make no mistake, it's difficult to do something that I haven't been doing unless somebody comes and gives me an explanation, because my desire, watch this face of God, is that I desire to get in a place where there is a homeostatic positioning. In other words, where there's a place of equilibrium, because I don't want to change. And so then we walk around talking about I revealed, the Lord showed me, the Lord showed what? Let me see you do something different. Because if I'm not careful with the revelation, I'm going to synchronize it with a frame of reference that is either too narrow or outdated.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God, help me. Let's have a commercial break right here. You know, sometimes, I've been preaching for a little while, and, you know, they've mentioned, this is the second, maybe the third time that I really didn't want to preach what I was preaching. Just being honest with you. The reason why, Robin, is the first time was because the word was going to cut the folks. Yeah, and I know, woo, ain't going to get invited over to no more dinners after this. He said, tell them what I said. So I did what he told me. But this is another account where I really wrestle with sharing this, because I understand the need, the pressure that's about to be applied to people who don't want to change. See, we all good when you're talking about we blessed going in and blessed coming out. We all good when we say, I got faith. We all good on that kind of stuff. But when you come to people's doorstep and tell them, you wrong. You wrong. They're not as receptive to you then. It's just not receptive. And so I wrestle with God on this, because I'm like, God, I don't believe some of these folk want to change. I don't believe it. We've been in this place. We've been talking about preparation. 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 We've been talking about it. Which means there has to be some change. I'm like, oh, he said, just preach. Just I told you, just preach. So I really was reluctant, because people have to change before I elevate you. Zacchaeus could not be changed until he climbed higher. Lady Benton said eloquently last week that we don't have problems when it's time to go back. People don't have problems when it's time to go low. But when you talk about going higher, we got all kinds of excuses why we can't go. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And so then I wrestle with this, because I know that now we will no longer have an exemption as to why some of the things that we are doing, or be able to have a justification that what they are doing are right. Because now we're being challenged to come higher. Because what comes after clarity? Because the only thing clarity does, it is a catalyst now for isolation. This is the struggle. Because when I'm now challenged, when I'm now pushed, when I'm now pricked to climb higher for clarity, what I'm also saying now is I have to leave behind not only people, but I must also leave behind some personas.
Come on here.
If I'm going to climb higher, then it's also saying that I'm going to leave behind the press, but I also have to leave behind some mentalities. And so that if I'm not careful, my isolation can cause me to run to a place in my flesh that produces loneliness.
Jesus. Preach this.
Because let me tell you something to your face. To your face, to your face. You're not going to change in a crowd.
That's right. What you say?
No. You're not going to change in the crowd. No. You're not going to be called in the crowd. You're not going to be sanctioned in the crowd. You're going to be called in isolation. And so then this clarity pushes him to a place where now he's isolated from the press. Because when he climbs up, can y'all follow with me? Because I'm going to go to my left for a second. When he decides to climb up a ladder, that climbing up a ladder, in the flesh, it produces this loneliness. Because there's nobody here with me. And so then, because of the intrepidation that comes from this place, I'm more apt to stay here.
Yes, sir.
But watch, saints of God. When God calls you to climb higher, it's not because he's trying to push you to a place of loneliness, but he's trying to draw you to a place of awakening.
Right. Right.
Because it's hard to awaken you
Yes.
when you're down here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's hard to awaken you because you're now motivated by your senses and not your spirit.
Yes.
And so to us, in the flesh, isolation produces a spirit of loneliness. But to God, isolation produces activation.
Come on.
It awakens you. That's why some of you can't hear nothing because you're still in the crowd.
Yes. Come on, Pastor.
Why God? I can't hear God. I don't hear God. It's in the crowd. There's too much noise in your vicinity. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it is this isolation that causes this activation, because now when I get here, when I get to this place of awakening, it comes from the fact that now I'm in the right position, I'm in the right atmosphere, and I now have access to the right people. Because the people down here could not speak to me about a place up here. I'm trying to stay. Slow down. And so then, this is why the awakening happens after the isolation. This is why the clarity becomes more distinct once you are in isolation. That's why, I love when we do our fast and we fast from social media.
Come on.
But the purpose of that is not to punish you. It's because God is trying to get a word in. And he can't get a word in when every notification of somebody else is greater than his notification. notifications when people post, but we don't have a notification when God posts. And so then what allows us to sense his notification is that I got to climb to a higher place. So that now, I'm now awakened to something currently I wasn't previously awakened to. This is why God is in this particular season. Watch this. This is why in this particular time in your life, and it doesn't matter what's happening in your life at this time. This is why I started out by saying, everybody in this building has problems. Okay? From the praise and worship leader, from the pastor, the first lady, everybody in here has problems. They're not the same problems, but they are egregious to them. Right? But regardless of all of our individual problems, God is corporately saying to this body, I need you to climb higher. Because there again, I got to repeat this. We want to climb higher after he's fixed my condition. No. Some of you are going to be waiting a long time. Going to be waiting a long time. God doesn't need the conditions to be right for the calling. He just needs you to be awakened and sensitive to them. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And so once you get into this place, because here's the thing. People want to go up. I believe they want to go up. I believe, look at your neighbor and say, I believe you want to go up. Janet, I believe you want to go up. I believe. But there's this fear of heights. There's this fear of going higher. There's this fear that comes or produces a visual intolerance. It's called acrophobia. Watch this. So I want you to understand this. Because acrophobia means fear of heights. I'm going to tell you, I don't like heights. When I go to Six Flags, I look at them. To tell you the truth, I look at them. I remember, quick testimony real quick. I remember we was in New Orleans, we went to Jazz Land. And I didn't see the ride in its totality of how it operated. I saw when it was speeding. So I went and got on the ride thinking I knew how the ride would ride. So it was the ride with the swings on it. So I got in the ride. I said, I got this one. I'm going to conquer my feet. I didn't get on no roller coasters. I didn't get on no Batman. I can do the swing and just go around in a circle. So CJ, I got on the ride. I didn't see the ride previously in motion. So once we started swinging, all of a sudden, we started, and my feet started going like this. And I got scared. God is my witness. I'm telling you the truth. So I said, what can I do to calm me down? Because I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. Well, I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all stop laughing at your pastor. The only thing I could do was to go back to what I knew. So I started singing. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. I'm telling you the truth. Because I figured if I called on Jesus, my heart would calm down, but it would be. And I mean, we were swinging so the swing was sideways, and my feet was going like that. And I'm like, Lord, if you get me off of this, got to worry about me. Set my feet on something else. And I chicken on the ground. I said, I can't go, can't go up there. I'll buy you the tickets, I'll hold your wallet, your purse, your glasses. I'll be here when you get back. We took Christian to Disney World. We'll find somebody around this. We'll be here when you get back. That's right here. Come on, lean them on and sit down. I'm serious. Because I don't do heights. Do heights. But I think I could have got over heights if I might have had somebody to help me when I was younger. Deal with heights. Because what seeded me with the fear of heights was when I was working with my father. My father was a brick mason. And we were working on a church in Grenada, Mississippi. It was a 3-story Baptist church. And I saw a man fall off the scaffold. And he broke his collarbone. And I was probably about 12, no, older than that. And it scared me. And so from then on, I've been scared to climb heights. This is it right here. Because I can handle a jump from here. See? And so then, some of you have been seeded with fear from a situation early on in your life. And it's impacting your willingness to climb higher. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Because some people are afraid of going higher, climbing up, because it is synonymous with change. Watch this. I'm going to show you in the scripture. Look at this verse, Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, verse 5, the first part. Listen to what he says. He says, and also when they shall be afraid of that which is high. Listen. And when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way. In other words, they are afraid of a high place, and the dangers would come with them. Now, who he's talking to, because I always like to make sure that you have the context of the text.
That's good. Yes, you do.
These verses refer to an individual who is of an age. And so he says when they're old, when people get to a certain place in their life, they get afraid of going up. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? What he's referring to, even though he's talking about from a chronological standpoint, but we're talking about from a kairos standpoint, in the sense that we go through some seasons where we don't mind going up, but then we get to another season where that's a little high. It is because now I become afraid of this height, because now this height is going to require me to change. Because you can get to a certain place in your walk, a certain place in your life, in your growth, and you can become afraid of going higher.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Especially you spiritually astute saints. You know, y'all got it all together, so you don't think you need to go any higher. But you do need to go higher. But when you have to go higher, what it does is now call you to come out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
See, I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
Good. I got this area here. But when I go here, now all of a sudden my focus has to now shift, because one bad step, one bad move could set me back. And so then people, watch this, Janice, they don't want to go higher because now I got to change. And this change is bringing me to a place that not only am I uncomfortable with, but I'm unfamiliar with. Because I spent my life down here. I know how to navigate here. But when you tell me to go up, I'm now reluctant to go up. Fear sets in because now I got to change how I operate. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And so then, what God does, because make no mistake, the Bible says that God has not given us a spirit of fear. Y'all know all these scriptures. But we still scared. Tell the truth, check it. We still scared. We still scared. So then God understands that even with us understanding that, He constitutes or institutes of alleviating the archophobia.
Okay.
I want to talk about three of them real quick. We're going to get out your way. The first way that God will alleviate our fear of going higher. Because, let me say this, I'm going up. I want you to go with me, but I will leave you. I don't mean that to be ugly, I really don't. Because there's something up here that's not down here.
That's right. That's right.
And I can't get it staying down here.
Right.
I got to go up. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? So then, make no mistake, to alleviate our fear of going higher or our visual height tolerance, then God has to set up a specific regimen for you. Just for you. So the first thing that God does is called stabilization. Now watch this. Stabilization is designed to minimize your reluctancy or hesitation. In other words, what stabilization does is designed to provide. I need somebody. Come on, baby. I told you I had some up my sleeve. Come on. You look so beautiful. Just put your foot on me. Look here, this What stabilization does is to say that I have to provide something or someone to stabilize you so that when you're going up, this is what the stabilization does. It prevents you from looking back or looking down. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying?
Yes.
Watch this. What the stabilization does is designed is so when you decide to go up, there you go. There's somebody that's got you. That'll tell you, don't worry about back here. I got back here. You keep your eyes on him. Because the tendency is when we have to go up, we think we have to go up, and there's nobody there to help me. And so to get over my fear, because mind you, watch this, the fear is changing. That's the fall. When we talk about fall, we talk about the changing. We don't want to change. And so the fear of changing is I'm going to lose my identity. You're not going to know me if I go up. So I want to stay down because I got an identity here. But when I go up, just like Zacchaeus, when he went up into the tree, he wasn't known as a chief publican then. Because there was nobody on that level who knew who he was. And when Jesus saw him, he didn't refer to him as a publican. But he looked at him as one of his own. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? This is why people are afraid of going up, because I'm going to lose something. And so then there has to be some stabilization provided.
Come on.
So that you don't look back. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. That's why you have to have people in your life to tell you to go up. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Let's stay right there. Here's number 2. The second reason is exposure.
I hear you. I hear you.
If you could go up, you would already been up. It's not like you stand down because you don't know. You stand down because you have been exposed to something better, something different. This is why we frown at you when you try to give us an excuse for not changing.
Come on. Come on, Pastor.
Because as Paul said, Sherelle, there is a more excellent way. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so then what exposure does, here's what exposure does. Exposure says, listen, we're not asking you to climb here. I just need you to take one step. Let's just take one step. some of us, when we get called, while we run from our calling, that was one of them, I can talk about it, was because I was trying to take too big of a step in the beginning. Because I was trying to get back there with one step. As opposed to having someone say, that's not how you get there. The first thing you do is you got to take this step here.
Yes.
We'll get there if we take this step first. And so then there has to be somebody to say, hey, I need to expose you. To bring you to this awareness that there is a place that you can climb up. But yet, you don't have to be afraid. Because we got you. We got you. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Watch this. Because make no mistake, the climb has to be gradual. This is why we've been in preparation for 2 years. Because it's going to be gradual. God has not asked you to flip the switch because we can't do it anyway, Darius. But he sent us into your life so that we could expose you to something different that's absent from your life. That's why I always tell you, don't take this the wrong way. If we can't inject something new into your life, why are you here? Go to a place where they don't inject nothing into your life. Give you what you always got. Nothing, somebody say. And so then, this is why there's this exposure and this stabilization. Here's the last one. Watch this. Deconstruction. Now, what the deconstruction is, it's designed to help you break down or dismantle perceived harmful stimulation as non-threatening. See, this is why I say we change. We have to learn, because one thing, here's a fallacy, saints. Fear just doesn't stay in one area.
That's right.
You know, I told you I was scared of heights, right? Prove to you. That same fear tried to raise his head when it came time for us to move out here.
That's good.
Because I was afraid, what if? And so if you're already fearful of something else, now you come to this place, that same fear will rise up in you. And so then this is why we have to introduce to you, to help you break down or to dismantle, that the climb that you're going to take is non-threatening to you. This is why the steps are small. Because we got to help you get over some bad experiences you had. This is why when you come here, you not only get affirmation, you're doing good. I see you. But some people say, well, that ain't that much. But for her, it is. Just because you may be up here, you can't look down on the person here and say, oh, and you just got up here. And you just got up here. And so then what's designed to happen is what the deconstruction does is to say, look, I'm going to help you break down this climb because it's not going to change what you are, just who you are. Because I need you to perceive this as not a threat to you. This is what fear does. Because what fear does, it already simulates in my mind something that is a threat to me. The reason I was scared to get on that ride is because I perceived that it was a threat to my life. That I was going to die over it. And so then people are afraid to go higher because they feel that it is a threat to their life. But you have to have have people in your life
Yes.
who will dismantle,
Yes. Talk about it.
who will dismantle this threat
Yeah.
through not only affirmation, confirmation, but education.
Amen.
Because if not, you won't see anything different. And so this is why the climb, watch this. You got, it's three people in this equation, not counting. You got the Lord that's behind her saying, go on. You got the Lord walking with her saying, I'm with you. But then you also have the Lord saying, come on up. All at the same time. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And so then we got to get over this fear of climbing up higher. And so then this is why we come after your fear.
Come on. Say
Come
it.
down, lady.
Wow.
This is why we come after. I got you. I'm building for it. This is why we come after your fear. Because it's your fear that's crippling you. It's your fear that's keeping you where you are. And so then when he told Zacchaeus, come. This is why he had to climb. But Zacchaeus wasn't afraid of climbing higher. And some of us are afraid. This is why there's sometimes pushback, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. But make no mistake, Zacchaeus could, remember he climbed the tree to see, right? But instead, he began to hear.
Yes.
Watch this. So your climbing higher does not only influence what you hear, but also what you see.
Yeah.
He climbed because he couldn't see, right? He couldn't see.
Yeah.
But when he got higher, Pam, he started hearing.
That's it. Come on.
And so until you come up higher, you won't hear anything different.
Yes.
And so this is why God's saying, I'm moving. But if you're going to move with God, you got to come up. You got to come up. Because if you don't come up, you won't see anything different. The Bible says faith cometh by hearing, right? The Bible says in Hebrews, faith is the substance. Come on, talk back to me. And the evidence not seen. So come on, Pastor Mac, if we use this correlation, then the evidence of things not seen comes by hearing.
I see what you're saying. All right. Yeah.
You got me, Miss Tracy. You got it. Did y'all, you follow me? Let me say it one more time. The Bible says faith comes by hearing, right? And the definition of faith, we say, is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So then the evidence of things not seen, which is faith, comes by hearing. So if I'm going to see something,
Come on. Yes.
if I'm going to hear something I've never heard, then I got to climb to see something I've never seen. So your hearing is affected by what you see.
Come on. Yes, yes.
This is why people wonder, I can't hear God. I can't hear God. It's because it's what you see. It's what you're looking at.
Yes.
That's affecting what you hear.
Yes.